Good morning, everybody.
Yep.
So have you ever been at a supermarket and, you could go or someone else could go and you don't really want to let them go, so you let them go, but like the exaggerated, proceed, That doesn't work on the robot at Stop and Shop. It keeps going and it goes even slower because it doesn't understand sarcastic looks. That's not how you teach a robot things. I don't know how to teach a robot. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and my wife just had another kid, you saw it, so that's like a contract extension. We already have a 2.5-year-old. Anybody ever had a kid? Yeah. Good for you. They're like agents of chaos at that age. So, you play with them and you're like, oh my God, it's an age-appropriate toy, this is great. And he's like, I have an idea, Daddy. I'll be right back. And he just runs out of the room. I have to follow him. It could be like, oh, we'll introduce a new toy, or like, he's gonna get a knife because he can climb. So I spend my whole day doing that. And rather than tell you what I do in the evenings to try to maintain some level of control in my life, I just showed you. I brought this. These are not all my nuts. Well, I have 6 of these. I just organize old piles of nuts and bolts in the evenings of my free time now. It's terrible, but it's true. Every row has a nip hidden. All right. So he's got grandparents, which is good for him, but they don't spoil him like they do with my grandparents spoiled me. I got candy and Hostess treats, and I'm like, why doesn't he get that? Do they think I don't feed him? And am I not doing a good enough job? Is this a judgment thing? I go over there and my mom has treats for him that are like yogurt or blueberries or spinach or vaccinations. I was going to get around to it. So if I were a penis doctor, a urologist, thank you, I'm not, and I was looking to drum up business, I would put my business card on the back of that chair that dads get in Women and Infants Hospital, not even with a coupon or anything, just vasectomies this weekend. Right? See Dr. Wilson. Rhode Island Monthly said his procedures were eerily fast. It's a bad chair. It's a bad chair. I'd like to tell you about it. No, it starts as a chair, and then it folds out into the shape of a bed. So they have the geometry right. Maybe a mathematician built it. It doesn't feel like a bed. It feels like a bed the way Polar Seltzer tastes like lime. It's pointless. What's somehow worse to me than this is that the bed, that's like a real bed for my wife, is, I guess, also uncomfortable for breastfeeding. So now I'm lying down in this chair, and she's like, I want to use it as a chair to breastfeed. And I'm like, that's fine, this thing sucks, right? But now the bed is empty, So what am I going to do, right? I'm going to get in that bed, So now I'm in the bed, and it's finally I'm getting some sleep. And the nurse comes in, it's a little embarrassing, I've done nothing for 2 days. They don't ask dads to help, and they're right. Fortunately, as a comedian, I'm really used to not being helpful. No one ever said, quick, does anyone have a joke? So I'm in the bed, and the nurse comes in, and I'm like, because there's always young nurses, but this wasn't. This was Irene, and she's a little more grandmotherly, and her eyes just said, it's okay, honey. I've seen men do a lot worse. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to keep sleeping then, because that's being a dad, a full-time dad, whatever, in 2019. From my grandparents' generation, I get 2 things from women. One is I don't think you know what you're doing. And I always assume that's informed by whatever their husbands were like. Or there's the good for you for even trying. That's, again, probably informed by whatever their husbands were like. And I have first person accounts, neither of my grandfathers changed a single diaper. Like, put the pipe away, Don Draper, and help out, okay? Like, they're taking care of 6 kids, they don't even have Netflix during a nap. It's hard. It was. So I get it, but I actually had both happen to be within seconds of each other. I'm at a grocery store where they have free coffee, so I'm putting the lid on my coffee to put in the cup holder of the stroller. Because, strollers have cup holders now. And I guess this woman was thinking of like, what she was used to. Strollers from the 60s and the 70s were terrible. They were like contraptions, they were unwieldy. They definitely didn't have cup holders. Because we didn't want mothers to have fun and stay hydrated, right? So she's like, be careful with that coffee around the baby. As if I'm like above average intelligence ape that has a cat. Like, we're gonna give you this cat, but be careful, Coco, like we're watching still. What do you say to that? Like, oh, I wasn't gonna pour this hot coffee on the thing. I was gonna drink it. Don't worry. I know not to pour it on the baby. I put the lid on so it doesn't spill. I wouldn't pour hot coffee on the baby. I almost never do that. Look at me. I use my mouth. But fortunately, there was another woman, a little older behind here, and she says, you leave him alone. He's doing fine. I gave her a look like that, and I looked the other way, like, I didn't have to say anything, because in that case, the look said everything, and she understood. All right, that's my time. Thank you.